are we about to experience the most beautiful astrological configuration of the century this month. That is what Andrei Barbo, a very famous astrologer who predicted the fall of the Soviet Union, everything that happened in 2020, he also predicted that this month, July 2026, there's a configuration happening called Barbo's Basket, which would be the most beautiful time of this century astrologically. This is going to be a longer one, so buckle in. But here's what I can tell you as someone who's been studying astrology, particularly mundane astrology, which is looking at world events and history. It's definitely going to be a time. And there's already things happening that you can see coming into place. So let's talk about what it actually looks like first. So we have 4 slower moving planets all coming into 4 degrees. We have Jupiter in Leo, we have Uranus in Gemini, Neptune retrograde in Aries, and Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, all coming into either sextiles, trines, or oppositions. So Jupiter in Leo is when we start to look at empire, we start to look at the stage and how we put people on stage. It expands this energy. It expands how we are seen. And this goes for society and how we see rulership, how we see empire, and how that plays out for us. The last time Jupiter was in Leo was 2014, when a certain world leader first announced he was running to be a world leader. Uranus in Gemini is very revolutionary. There will be massive leaps in technology, in the way people process information. It also is going to really put division on display. The last time Uranus was in Gemini was in the 1940s. I can't talk about what happened then, but we all know. Neptune in Aries changes the way we experience our own spirituality and our own inner processing. It changes the way we view how we connect. It changes how we project our subconscious forward. The last time we had this position was the American Civil War. Also, a lot of things were happening in Europe. Countries were being formed. A lot of things going on. Pluto in Aquarius brings us into full collective transformation. And the last time we had this was like French Revolution era. A lot going on then too. So all of these planets are coming together. Now, what I want to say is it's important to understand this configuration isn't going to be like a big, oh my gosh, everything changes instantly. It's the start of a massive shift that is desperately needed. So all of these positions have in the past brought some really horrendous things, but they have also brought massive change, massive revolution, uprising, and a huge change in how things were done. Now, all of them being at 4 degrees is really interesting. There's a lot of theories about what degrees might mean in astrology. Some people say they're associated with different signs. 4 would be associated with the sign of Cancer. Cancer is the matriarch of the zodiac. That could give you some hints of some of the energy that we're going to be starting to move into. But 4 is also a number of very steadfast energy, but it can also be energy that moves super slowly, energy that's super blocked at times, more like a Saturn type of energy. So my best prediction with this is, yes, I do believe we're making the steps necessary to move to more matriarchal outlook again. But I also think it's going to be incredibly slow and it's going to be incredibly painful. I don't see the things happening in the world just suddenly stopping. I actually think they're going to get much worse before they start to get better. Change is also always so chaotic. It brings a lot of growing pains. And I hate saying that. I would like to say what I would want to say, but I can't here. It's going to be really brutal. I don't sugarcoat here. The atrocities happening in the world will continue to happen. Now, Jupiter in Leo in opposition with Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is fascinating, because what we're going to see is you're going to see the collective start to rise fully against empire. But that does mean empire will push to expand. For every action, there's an equal or opposing reaction, right? Astrology is based on this, just like all things. What is most important with this, though, is the Neptune position. Neptune in Aries removes all illusion. It brings about mass disillusionment. It is going to allow people to finally see, people who've never actually seen, what is really happening in our world. People are going to wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. People who've never actually woken up before. And this is where I believe Barbo is referring to this actually being a really beautiful configuration, in the sense that it's going to start fully the revolution needed to finally change this world. Now, that revolution is going to be years. It just is. Because power has infiltrated too far into everything. And until all of those little infiltrations can be addressed, things are just going to continue to escalate the way that they've been. So what can we expect in the next 10 days as all of this peaks? Expect that all of the conflicts, sorry, I hate that word, are going to escalate a lot. We've just seen a prominent figure who is an asshole bite the dust. We might see some more of that during this time. However, know that that's also going to escalate things more. I want people in prominent westernized countries to watch for false flags. This is the kind of energy that can bring this about. But what can you do personally? Get in your community. Get out of your house. Get off your screens, unless you're creating positive community on your screens, and get out and start making change. Getting together with people who are trying to make change. Help your community. Create connection again. We're so connected that we're disconnected. We're so filtered. Things are not getting across the way that they need to. Get your ass out of your house. Go connect with people. Understand your truth. Understand where you are manipulated, where you don't see things clearly, where you get gaslighted. All of that. You need to understand your truth, your fire, and your gifts, and how you are bringing that into the world. Because every single human on this earth is needed to move things the way that they need to be moved. Because not only do we all have our own personal destiny, humanity has a destiny as a whole. We are all here to help move that forward. So figure yours out. And don't be afraid to shine. Jupiter's in Leo, baby. If you want to know how this is going to affect you personally, how you can use all of this energy, because it will hang out for quite a few months still. It's just going to do that. And a lot of this energy is going to hang out for years. You can hit me up. I love to put people on the path, not only for themselves, but also in how they're meant to help humanity. So hit me up right there and let's talk. Let's get things on track and let's actually start changing things. It's needed.